now.
Big 12 champions, Baylor Bears. Dude, what a game. Intense, down to the last play. Baylor leaning heavily on their defense that whole second half, really the whole game. And it makes sense. All those defensive guys, the seniors, stuck around the program. Huge win.
What a game, man. What a game.
Chaos needs to unfold now the rest of the day. We have a fighter's chance. Blake Shapen stepping up, only his second career start. Started what, 16 for 16?
Yeah. No, it was 17 for 17.
Was it 17?
Yeah.
Dude was impressive.
Redshirt freshman, by the way.
Redshirt freshman, the number one shortstop recruit out of Louisiana a couple years back. Sanders throws 4 interceptions again today. He threw 3 last time we played him. Wow. That was a game.
How you feeling right now, man?
I'm emotionally drained.
Yes.
That whole game was a roller coaster. Got really high in the first, got really low in the third and the fourth.
Man, I'm telling you, something special to win that game. As an OU fan, we've won it the last couple of years, and man, it's an awesome feeling. And especially for y'all, for this is what, the third time in program history you've won the Big 12?
Yeah, all in the past decade, actually, 2013,
Yeah.
14, and 2021 now.
This is the first Big 12 championship game you've won, right?
Yes.
Because the other ones were just if you were best in the regular season.
Correct. Yeah.
That makes it even more special, man. That's awesome.
And just stopped them. I will give credit. OSU has a phenomenal defense. They made a lot of adjustments going into the third quarter, and we're honestly really lucky to come out to win. But on the same note, our defense is phenomenal.
The best.
Phenomenal. To hold a team 4 straight plays from the 2-yard line with the game.
And not to mention, that was not the first goal line stand of the game for Baylor's defense.
And a lot of people on Twitter questioning Mike Gundy's field goal decision. But, I mean, it's probably a good idea to kick the field goal in that situation. If you don't kick it and you don't get the fourth, or you don't get the touchdown on 4th down, it's still an 8-point game.
Yeah, then you're down by 8.
Yeah, we've proven that we can stop you at the 2, so why would you want to risk a 2-point conversion?
Yeah. When they just run 3 straight plays and got nowhere.
Exactly. And so Gundy's going to get a lot of hate for that, but looking at it, that was a really good call for him. On the other note, Aranda had a very questionable call also early in the third. Yes. We didn't have the momentum, but it wasn't fully on OSU's side, going for it on 4th and 1 from our 37, somewhere around there.
Yeah. The game was 21-6 at that point, correct?
Yes. And they drive down, get a touchdown. And or that might have been the field goal. No, that was the touchdown drive.
Yeah, that was a touchdown.
And it was huge that Jalen Warren didn't play, because if he played, they'd probably get an end zone at the end.
Yes, that is a huge factor.
It sucks not seeing them 100% healthy, but we also weren't 100% healthy with Gary Bohannon out. Dude, what a game.
Yes, that was a thrilling game, man.
Insane way to end the year, regular season year at least. Big 12 champions. Dude. I cannot believe it.
I'm very glad y'all won. That's all I will say.
Blake Shapen, 3 touchdowns, all in the first half. Huge throws early.
He did not look like a redshirt freshman at all, making those throws.
If he would have slid before he got hurt in the third quarter, he probably throws more touchdowns. But like the announcer said, he went to the tent, got the shoulder checked out. Obviously wasn't 100%. Right. He's not as mobile as Gary. They brought in Kyron Drones for 1 play, and I didn't know how to feel about that. Interesting note, though, that is the second straight Big 12 championship game for Baylor where they had to bring in their 3rd-string quarterback.
Yep. Wow. That's insane.
In 2019 and
Zeno.
this year.
Yeah.
Wow, dude. What a game.
While we're thinking about Aranda, look how he's turned around y'all's program.
For sure.
What was the record? 2-7 last year?
7 last year. He's done more this year than Rule did 3 years with the top 25 wins. It's weird because Rule got so much success at Baylor, but there was never a top 25 win, which is weird to think about. And Aranda comes in this year. I think this is his 4th. BYU, OU. I don't know if Texas was ranked at the time. I don't think Iowa State was ranked either. This might be his 3rd. But that was huge. I don't know what to say right now. This is insane.
Hey, it's time for y'all to take over the Big 12, man.
For sure.
Once OU leaves.
Speaking of Big 12, we got another Big 12 championship tonight, or right now, I guess. Cincinnati and Houston. Is it 3 o'clock or 3:30 kickoff?
It actually just kicked off. I got it on my TV up here.
So we need Houston to dominate. We need Iowa to dominate, and we need Georgia to dominate.
And there's still a chance.
There is a chance. A 2-loss Ohio State does not get in because they did not play in a conference championship.
No.
A 2-loss Bama will not get in because they're not conference champions. Notre Dame is the question mark.
They should not be in, though. I would take Baylor over Notre Dame any day.
They haven't had a top 25 win. They have a new coach. That right there should put them off the table.
It should.
So realistically, one team needs to go down if they consider that it, because we're a 2-loss conference champion, and they value the conference champion so much in these rankings. And Baylor's here. If it wasn't for Johnny Manziel coming back to TCU for a game, there'd be no doubt.
Y'all's defense, man. Defense.
Big Bay was huge that last play.
I was just thinking back about our podcast on Wednesday and how we were kind of previewing this game. And what I said for Baylor is they got to control the line of scrimmage, which y'all did both sides of the ball. Offense and defense, you control the line of scrimmage. Y'all's run game was great, especially in the first half. It kind of slowed down once what's his name? Chapin got hurt because that kind of honed in on the run, which limited y'all's offense big time. But y'all's offensive line was just moving people, big time runs, which opened up the pass, which, Chapin was thankful for that because once you open up that run game, then the pass game opens up because they think you're about to pound the rock and then you open it up. It just opens up your whole playbook, So that was my big key for Baylor was controlling the line of scrimmage, which y'all obviously did. Like I said, both sides of the ball. And that defense was just insane. And talk about the defense just being insane, just making stops. What about the turnovers? 4 turnovers?
4 turnovers to 2 turnovers. Both of our turnovers came from Tristan Ebner, fumble on the first drive of the game where we really moved the ball all game, except for maybe a couple of drives in the first. But we really moved the ball efficiently, just that costly fumble in the first quarter, and then that fumble on the punt in the late third quarter. But, yeah, what a game. Looking at the stats, they outgained us 333 to 242, and a lot of it was that last drive where they went 90 yards.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which, setting up that 90 yards, you got Isaac Powers with a boot at McAfee.
That punt was huge, man.
That was huge.
If they aren't pinned, they might score, man. Realistically.
And honestly, for the Big 12, this is the best possible situation with OU and Texas announcing they're leaving. This is the type of game you wanted in your Big 12 championship. You wanted a close, down to the literally last play. Game of inches. Wow. Give credit to OSU. They held us scoreless in the second half. But that first half, we dominated just enough. Defense has been our backbone all year. Defense
it has.
Proved it today.
Defense wins championships, man. It all comes down to your defense. And that's I'm really impressed with Aranda, because he was the defensive coordinator. This is his first head coaching job, right?
Yes, he was a DC at LSU back when they won in 19.
Yeah, and 19, yeah, when they won it all. So I mean, I love a defensive minded head coach. And you see how it's paying off already. And that's what I want OU to do, is to
Right.
find that defensive minded head coach. But this podcast is not about OU. This is about the Big 12 championship Baylor Bears. So
It's fun times. I guess we'll dive in a little bit to the stats. Shaping in today, 23 of 28, 180 yards, 3 touchdowns. Huge huge game for him.
big time game from a freshman. How many of those 180 came in the first half? It was definitely over 100.
Probably most of them, probably 160. Because they held us to
So
yards, I think, in the second half.
yeah, the second half defense was pretty much dominated by Oklahoma State, besides the turnovers and obviously the goal line stand by Baylor.
And our
But like
boys
stat wise, Oklahoma State really dominated defense wise.
our boys were hitting hard on defense. We saw that
Yes.
the last interception of the game.
Oh man. That one got me on my feet, man. That was
Like a
great.
big interception. So a huge play there by our defense. This whole game, you might see the dog in the audio or video there. Rushing wise, Abram Smith did what he does, 17 for 63. Again, that's another nod to OSU's defense, keeping them under 100 yards for the second time this year. Really, those numbers are kind of watered down in the second half because of the one-dimensional offensive play, but still, nonetheless, wow. The receiving yard is
A costly play was the fumble on the punt.
Yes, that was where you started.
That was Ebner, right?
Yeah, that's where my gut was like, oh no, it's not good. Receiving wise, Tyquan Thornton went off 6 for 71 and a touchdown. Sims 4 for 34 and a touchdown. Estrada, the Texas boy, 6 for 33 for a touchdown. Ebner got involved 3 for 27. It was a well-rounded game.
Thornton with 11.8 average per catch.
What was that?
Thornton with an 11.8 average per catch.
Thornton was huge. He made so many catches that his hands have really improved over his 4 years here. As this first year or two, he was just that deep threat of he's going to get behind the defense. He wasn't like a possession guy. Now he does. If he drops it, it's a rare sight. He's got such sure hands. He'll probably be a late draft pick, maybe an unsigned free agent or undrafted free agent. But dude,
Freaking awesome, man.
Heartbreak kid JT Woods comes up with the interception. Utley, the big man with the interception. McVay, the guy that saved the game in the last play, comes up with the interception. Jones with the interception. Huge day for our defense.
Defense won y'all this game, 100%.
100%. We played 8 quarters this year against OSU. Spencer Sanders has thrown 7 interceptions.
That's, I think he had 10 on the year coming in to the game.
I can look that up real quick.
Something around that.
And he was the Big 12 quarterback of the year.
Quote unquote.
It says 8 interceptions. I don't know if that was going into this game or after this. This game 4. He's thrown 8 this year.
Okay. And let's see, 4-7 against y'all.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, that's not right. That's not counting today.
Okay.
He threw 2 against OU and 1 against West Virginia. So that's already 3. Which 3 from our other game would be 6. And then 4 today. So 12 interceptions this year. A 4th of them coming in this game.
That's insane.
Our defense, phenomenal. Oh, wow, dude. I want to look at the tackles.
Y'all just created great pressure the whole game. Sanders never looked comfortable. Maybe one drive after they went for it on 4th.
Mm-hmm.
He looked pretty comfortable then because they're getting the momentum back. But other than that, y'all's pressure front 7 was creating havoc all game.
That's an insane stand for this Baylor defense. And what a game. What a way to end it.
Oh yeah, the stop on the 1 inch yard line. Like you said, football's a game of inches, man.
I thought he was beat. I thought he was beat. Dude, I can't believe they got that.
I thought he
Cannot.
was beat too. I thought oh man, he's got the edge and their OSU's gonna win. But nope. What a stand.
That was an insane stand for the defense. All the seniors, notable Bernard, Petrie, McVeigh, Halen Barnes. I think he might be a junior, but still, they all stayed. They could have left, like Aranda said.
Yep.
Last year was rough. This year, picked to finish eighth in conference, only ahead of Kansas and Tech, I think. We might have been picked ninth. I don't know. But what a turnaround. Year two for Dave Aranda with the Big 12 chip, possible playoff berth. We'll see what happens the rest of the day. Future's looking bright in Waco.
Man, that's big time culture that has been set in place by Aranda. You know, he's totally turned that program around. Like you said last year, y'all going 2-7. And normally when teams go 2-7, all the big time guys like I'm out. I'm gonna go find somewhere where I can win. But that's just huge to Aranda to getting them to buy into the program. And obviously it's paying off. Just won the Big 12 championship. And there's probably going to be many more, you would think, for Baylor in the future.
And even the additions that Aranda made to the staff with Jeff Grimes coming in, that phenomenal offense at BYU translates perfectly for this team.
I love how y'all use your tight ends, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I heard there's a tight end from Norman in
there. Yeah.
Texas boy. Y'all utilized him really well against OSU for the 3 catches he had.
Yeah, we did.
I like it. And it's another applaud for the quarterback coach, the way that he was able to have ready to go this game.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, that's huge. You know, a lot of times you focus a lot on your QB1 all year. But obviously they shared the focus because these last 3 games that Shaven's had to play, he's looked phenomenal. Hasn't thrown an interception. There's been some questionable throws, no doubt. But you're going to get that with the freshman.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, that dude is something.
Thinking of like a freshman-like play, that was almost a backwards pass that got called intentional grounding. That really saved y'all as well.
It was the rolling on the field. If the rolling on the fumble, it 100% stands. There's not enough evidence to rule that overturned. That's a 50-50. Obviously, coming from me, a Baylor fan, I'm going to say it was a Florida pass. But in reality, it was really close.
It was very close.
Maybe it left his hand at the 22 and it ended at the 21. That's a possibility. That might have been what happened. But obviously, I'd rather him take a sack there than risk that.
But, I mean, that was a clutch call because if they would have got that fumble, the momentum switched then. And who knows what happens, you know.
What a season. What a season.
Looking at some of Oklahoma State stats here, Sanders threw the ball 46 times. That seems very high for him.
Yeah, well, you look at Warren not being in the game. That's also a lot of
and with y'all getting the early lead.
Yeah,
they're trying to get back in the game.
Going with their running backs against our defense.
Yeah.
Our defense was swarming on the run plays. Right before halftime, I think I texted you because they started taking the shots on the cornerbacks. And that's what I was worried about this game because our cornerback, if there's a weakest part, it's our secondary.
Mm-hmm.
Our front seven is dominant. Our secondary is they're hit or miss. And, you know, that we got away with a couple of pass interference calls that weren't called that probably should have been called. And they also got a lot of PI calls that weren't PI calls.
Talking about Oklahoma State's rushing, you said their running back was out. Spencer Sanders was their leading rusher.
Yes.
That's how you know your defense dominated the game.
Yeah.
He had 13 carries for 33 yards. And then their other back, Jackson, was 19 for 31 with a 1.6 average. That's how you dominate a game right there. Dominate the line of scrimmage. That's how you win right there.
If we somehow get into the playoffs, I don't know what to expect out of that Georgia game. Georgia's so good. Their defense is so good. It's going to be a battle of defenses. I'm not going to say that we're going to win just because I'm a Baylor fan. But look, it's going to be defense and who has the better offense at that point.
That would be a crazy defensive battle for sure.
I'm hoping Georgia comes in and just stomps Alabama.
That would be great.
I'm going to have to get a shirt. I'm going to have to get a shirt, dude. This is insane.
What a game, man.
That was
y'all's defense. I mean, the stops, the 4 turnovers, that just – you can't win a ball game when you turn the ball over 4 times.
They almost did it too.
I know.
They did it in Stillwater. They almost did it here. What a finish for our seniors. Petrie, the lone commit that stayed after the scandal. Insane. I'm happy for these guys.
Oh, for sure, man. It's all about being bought into that program that Aranda has, and props to Aranda, and all the coaches there for turning it around,
And that's a huge national spotlight for recruits.
For sure.
Especially on the defensive side of the ball. Like, these guys play defense.
100%.
The Big 12 isn't that high offense conference anymore.
Not anymore.
Especially with OU and Texas even. It's going to be a heavy-hitting conference.
Yes.
And it's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
All these games are going to be phenomenal. Kansas starting on the upward trend. I think they finally got their guy.
Yeah.
If Campbell stays at Iowa State, they're going to finish 8-4 every year, but they're going to be competitive. What a game, dude.
So with this win, if you don't get in the playoffs, it's Sugar Bowl.
Against Bama, most likely.
Yeah. And then that means OSU's probably in the Fiesta, right?
And that OU in the Alamo.
Yeah.
Against
Oregon, probably.
Yes.
Which will be a good game.
Bob Stoops gets his revenge.
Bob Stoops gets his revenge, yep. So who would OSU play? Who goes to the Fiesta?
Utah. No, Utah's going to the Rose
Bowl. Utah's in the Rose Bowl.
Is it Big Ten? Or is it ACC in the Fiesta?
Or is it not necessarily?
It might be at large.
Locked. I think it's an at large because OU played Boise State that one time in the Fiesta Bowl.
But that was also before the playoffs when all this stuff was weird.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll know everything tomorrow at this time.
Yeah.
Dude, what? My heart was racing the whole game.
Oh, I can't imagine, man.
All that emotion came out in the last play, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
The one and only time I'm ever a Baylor fan was today.
That would have been the same with OU if they were playing OSU.
Yeah. I'm very glad the refs were much better. They almost gave it to OSU again at the end, like they did last week. That was a horrible call, in my opinion.
Yes.
Absolutely terrible call. And then last week there was a no call, but that was last week, so who cares anymore now?
The only thing OSU fans can complain about losing this time is Spencer Sanders sucks.
Yes, 100%. He lost them the game.
And he's going to be starting next year.
Mm-hmm.
He'll start because he's not going to go pro.
No.
And they're not
with that performance in the biggest game.
Gundy will not pull him to start Illingworth, even though Illingworth's probably the better quarterback. But dude,
man, it was a classic poke choke.
I love it. Heck of a game.
I love a poke choke, man. It's great.
I can't believe that game. I was hoping to get on here and talking about the route that Baylor just had because it was 21-3. I'm like, it's over. It's going to be 42-10. It's done. And then we almost didn't have one because of that last play. And now to be on here talking about it, do I wish it was that 3-hour drive back from Arlington where we did it? Yes. but this is
Oh yeah.
this is
I
awesome.
mean, man, it was a great game. One that will be remembered forever, obviously, with the game ending on the 1 inch yard line. It was,
How do you script a better ending than that?
oh no, you can't. Like you said, that's the best way for it to end, with
And it
Baylor
was
coming up clutch on
it was
defense.
so,
Man,
so basketball got its national championship, football, Big 12 championship, maybe the playoff berth. Gotta look at these 3 games tonight. Baylor looks like the powerhouse in the Big 12 moving forward.
definitely. In every sport, it seems like.
I love Mac Rhodes. I love what he's doing with the athletic department. I love Aranda. I love our coaching staff. I'm so happy, dude. I'm not gonna stop smiling all week. This
Oh
is
yeah, yeah, man. I know the feeling, man. It's pretty awesome.
great.
Congrats to Baylor for sure, man. It was a great game. Defensive domination.
Yes, sir.
That's what you love to see.
Going forward, when you're out of college, we got to make OU Baylor. Oh no, never mind. I was gonna say we got to make OU Baylor an annual game, but I forgot y'all are leaving.
Now we're going to the SEC.
We'll have
Sadly.
to do an annual game for both teams.
Yeah.
We'll have to go down to Norman, then go down to Waco.
Yeah.
Dude, what a year!
It's a great way to end the regular season right there for sure.
They're picked to finish in the bottom 3, come back and winning the whole dang thing.
Thanks
Just
to a poke choke.
yes, sir. To Aranda's defense.
Yes. Yes.
And it's only fitting for it to come down to that defense. I've said that like 20 times, but
Yes. No, no. You need to say it 20 more times because it needs to be said that many times because it was amazing.
that defense deserves so much praise for that performance because they were nails. They were nails. They allowed 1 touchdown. Everything else is field goals. They were
Yep.
nailed the entire game. Man, what a game.
I just thought of this. You remember the late hit on the quarterback? I mean, not on the quarterback, one of their offensive linemen, unnecessary
Yeah,
roughness.
yeah.
Was that the touchdown drive? It was because there was
Yeah,
PI the next play.
yeah.
I was thinking if that was at the drive where they scored a field goal.
Yeah, they shot themselves in the foot because they. Thank you, Spencer, for throwing 4 INTs.
There was just so many crazy plays that decided this game. A lot of them were those 4 interceptions by Baylor.
Defense. I love the fact that we are a defense heavy team now. It was fun watching the heavy, high flying offenses score 45 points a game, but watching a defense dominate the whole game and be like, you know what, you don't need to score in the second half. We're still going to win this game.
Yep.
The fact that we didn't score a single point in the second half and we won that game solely because of our defense. Those guys,
you can't say enough about the defense, man. You can talk all day about them.
hats off to that defense. Defense wins championships. I'm a defensive guy now. I love it. I loved all the offenses early. Now I'll transition that defense, like hit them hard.
Hey man, that's my favorite kind of football right there, man.
Yep.
Defense.
I can't get that last play out of my head. That was the last inch possible.
That's one for the history books for sure.
If he was an inch taller and his wingspan was a little bit longer, it's a whole different game.
That was a crazy play by what was his name? 42?
McVay.
McVay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
McVay.
that was a crazy play. On not giving up on the play. It was obvious he was beat to the edge at the start of the play.
And he was part of that 2019 team too.
He was.
Like my dog, I'll be starting to snore. But and flashbacks to that 2019 game that went into overtime with y'all. And that last play, seeing all the guys go down to a knee because the defeat and how they felt. And I think most of these guys are still here. For them to feel the defeat 2 years ago, and now the emotional high of stopping them at the one. The complete 180 that Baylor has done since the scandal, since Jim Grove, I think, was our interim for that 1 year. Rule came in, Rule reestablished us.
Yeah.
Got us to where we're competitive. Then Aranda comes in. We're still not done. We're going to be there the next 10 years as long as we can keep Aranda. And I think we'll be able to keep Aranda. His personality fits right in. The future is bright. I'm so excited for it.
I bet, man. It is a really bright future. And that defense, man. With the defense leading your team, man, Baylor's going to be scary the next couple of years.
For sure. That campus is going to be crazy. Buzzing.
No doubt about that.
3 months as basketball looks to go back to back. What a time to be a Bear. What a time to be a student at Baylor. Those kids loving it. What a time, dude. Probably the lone Baylor fan in Oklahoma. What a time. I'm wearing Baylor every day the rest of the year. Go out in public, Christmas time, not sweatshirt, wearing it, Target, Hobby Lobby, everywhere. It is what a time to be a Bear.
Well, I think that about wraps us up. Kind of went through the whole game.
One time for the one time. Can we get a stick of Bears from you? One time.
Congrats, Baylor, on the Big 12.
Just one time. I would say Boomer Sooner for you.
Championship. Hey, man. Yo.
One time.
No, I can't do it.
Just one time.
Stick 'em Bears. There you go.
There it is.
I did it.
Stick 'em Bears.
There you go.
Pistols cannot
Thank you for beating the little sister. I really appreciate that. After the debacle of last week, of them getting bailed out. And I'm glad it didn't happen again. And Baylor, by a score of 21-16, is your 2021 Big 12 champions. Stay tuned the rest of the day to see what other chaos happens in college football.
Go Cougars. Go Hawkeyes. Go Bulldogs. I think that's all we need. Let chaos ensue.
And you need to root for the committee to not favor Notre Dame.
If we get 2 of those 3 losses, we should be in.
Yeah, you would think.
What a game. Man, stick 'em Bears.
It was a great game for sure. Congrats to Baylor. We'll be back this coming Wednesday night. It'll be all about college football pretty much. As tomorrow, Sunday, we'll find out the top 4 for the playoffs, and then we'll find out bowl games coming up. So there will be a lot to talk about.
Ball worse would be nice.
Yes.
Let's make this a thing next year where we're both down there, though, with OU and Baylor both playing.
I hope, man. I don't know. It's going to be a little bit rough for OU, probably.
You saw Baylor turn it around. Y'all are in a much better situation than we were. Y'all be fine. It might take a year or 2, but y'all be fine.
Yeah.
If Baylor can do it, OU can definitely do it.
Definitely.
That completes it, dude. That completes the turnaround, the rebuild. Next step, championship.
This is just the start for y'all. Being real.
Man, I love this team. I love the players, love the seniors. So thankful they stayed, built the foundation for the future.
All right. Well, we'll see you. We'll have another video posted Wednesday night. All about college football, the playoffs, and bowl season's coming up. So exciting times.
See y'all later.